Going to get started in a moment. I am doing some technology today. We are streaming to 5 places through this stream, and I'm being really brave, and I am going to go live on Instagram over here. I'm not sure why I'm seeing comments here about the Money Alchemy Academy. It's currently closed, so I'm not sure why that's coming up. That must be a setting I've got on my mouse. I don't think we're going live on Instagram. That was my phone. That's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to get the link off Facebook, and I can't believe I've dropped the phone. Bear with me. Let me just get the link and let everyone know that we're live. People were really keen to do this training, which is amazing. It's one of my favourite trainings to do. Now, in the academy, we do go, there is a deeper experience for this, but that's for my academy and circle clients. This is like a whistle-stop tour of the amazing magical manifestation check. So I will put my attention on you in just a second. I'm just going to get the link for this so that I can tell people that we're here. There we go. Let's just copy that. Oh no, that's not the one I want. Here we go. Anyway, whilst I'm doing this, let me know in the comments how your week's been. And whilst you're doing that, I shall get this sorted out. So how has your week been? Let me know in the comments. Got the link now, yay. I think that's going to work. Let's give it a go. Send that. Okay. Hello, Faith. How are you doing? It's afternoon here. What time is it there? You said morning. Hey, lovely. I can't see who you are who's saying hi, hello. Oh, it's Jagita. Hello, Jagita. Nice to see you, lovely. Thanks for joining. Okay. Right. Who here fancies writing a manifesting check, a money manifesting check? 11 a.m. That's brilliant. So partway through the day. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for joining, lovely. So I haven't done this training for a little while, so I thought I'd do it again. As I said, in the academy and the circle, we have a much deeper experience for this, and it goes into sort of troubleshooting some of the issues that some people do have with the checks, because the checks are an amazing process, but they're also a practice, and like any practice, you have to practice at it. So these are the checks we're going to be using. And these are currently available on Amazon or through my website. There are 50 checks in this checkbook, so they will keep you going for a lovely long time. I've just noticed I've still got my acupuncture thing on. So that's what that is. It's just an acupuncture magnet, just in case you're wondering. So we're going to be using these, and these have a really magical story. Hi, Abby. Hi, Carmel. Lovely. So good to see so many of you. That's brilliant. These checks are super, super powerful. And I first learned about magic checks from Rhonda Byrne, who wrote The Secret. And she explained how to write checks to manifest big chunks of money. Now, I love manifesting big chunks of money, but I wasn't very good at it. I kept trying and I kept failing. And what I realised was there was some sort of disconnect between what I was trying to manifest and what I believed. So what I started doing was creating my own process. Hi, Jana. Creating my own process, which is a monthly check. Okay, so these checks are not to manifest big chunks of money in one go. They are to increase your income month on month on month. Okay, so if you want to know how to write big chunks, then I recommend going and reading about The Secret and the magic and things like that. But if you want to have a consistently increasing amount of income, then this process is the one that's going to work for you. Okay, and I know that because I couldn't manifest big chunks of money, but I did manage to triple my income in a year using these checks. And then I've done it again since then. Okay, so who's that? I'm not sure who that is. I think I'm Billy No Mates over here. So just to let you know, we are streaming everywhere except for Instagram because I dropped my phone when I went live. So you might be on my profile or in the group or on the page. So you might not see the comments that are coming through. I'm getting them from all different places. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you, lovely. Oh, hi, Jill. Yeah, you're probably just looking on a different place because I've got it going everywhere. That's all, my lovely. So yeah, so as I was saying, this training is about increasing your monthly income in a way that doesn't freak you out, that doesn't make you feel like it's not even going to happen, okay? Some of us have that money personality that we just need a little bit of proof to get going. And others don't. And they write big checks. And some of these people are my clients. They write a check for 10 grand, bang, it arrives the next day. They write a check for 50 grand, bang, it arrives the next week. I have to say, I have not mastered that yet. Although I say that, I did manifest £10,000 before I'd even asked for it. And I didn't even know it was there. Really interesting story that. I'll tell you about that one day. So the checks are really, really powerful. And if you haven't got a set of these, do have a look on my website. It's fearlesslyfeminine.me/check. Check in the UK version of the spelling, which is CHEQUE. Okay. And they are super powerful. And there's 50 in here. So this is going to keep you going for a while, right? Because I recommend to only write one a month. Okay. So the magic checks, they are the first thing. I've got 5 things written down here. The first thing you need to have to write a magic check is the mindset for money. Okay. If you have a story in your head that you can't increase your monthly income because of something, because you work a salary, you work a job and there's no way to make any overtime, or because you are on benefits, or because you don't have a business. Like if you tell yourself that story, it's going to be true. So I invite everyone to listen to their stories that they're telling themselves. It normally starts with that, I can't because. The reason I can't manifest money, Eloise, is because of this, okay? And try and change it into, I'm open to manifesting more money, as well as having a job, or as well as being on benefits. Do you see what I mean? Because if you say, I can't because, it's not going to happen. You've already told yourself you can't do it, okay? And Henry Ford once said, and he's famous for this, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right, okay? So first of all, watch what you're saying. Watch what stories you're telling yourself, okay? I had this story for the longest time. I can't generate more income than my salary. If that was a subconscious story, then I can't generate more than 5k a month because people like me don't earn that sort of money. Then it was, I can't earn 10k every month because people like me don't earn that sort of money. Do you see how it sort of really keeps coming back? Okay. Lynn says, can you do this if you're retired? Absolutely. You can do it if you're retired. You can attract money if you're retired. Okay. So you might think your story might be, and I'm guessing here, Lynn, as an example, it might be, I can't make more money because I'm on a pension, just as an example. Well, yeah, you can. You can attract more money in many different ways. Money doesn't just come through pensions, salaries, and benefits. It doesn't just come through those places. There's lots of other places that you can get money. So and again, I've guessed that was as an example there, Lynn. So, but that's an example of an I can't because potentially you might not have it. Okay, Isabella says, I've been trying to manifest a certain amount each month from my business, but I keep getting clients who don't want to spend a lot. So I won't get into my account. I'm trying to manifest help. So what you need to work on, my lovely, is manifesting clients who will pay. What story are you telling yourself about your clients? One of the things that I did and still do, if I'm honest, is I get in people's purses. I already assume they can't afford me. Yeah, I already assume that. No one can afford my stuff. No one can afford my stuff. Well, do you know what? People can afford my stuff. People who I would look at and think, oh my goodness, they're in a tough spot. They find a way to afford it. Yeah, it's so I would say with you, my lovely Isabella, is think about what clients are you attracting. You want to work on who you're attracting. You want to attract the right people who understand the level of your pricing before they've even spoken to you. And you can do that in lots of ways, branding, things like that. So have a think about that, my lovely. And also, what are you telling yourself about your clients? Just have a little think on that as well. Isabella says amount. Oh, my amount. I'm trying to manifest. Okay, that's fine, my lovely. So I hope that helps. I'm going to talk you through how you work out how much to manifest as well. Okay, so these checks work. Okay, I know they work because they've worked for me and they work for my clients, but they don't always work the way you think they're going to work. Okay, sometimes they work beautifully straight away, in that when I say they work, you get paid straight away, and then you have a little bit of a dip and then it goes up. But over time, what you notice, if you look at the last 12 checks that you write, you will see, even though you've had some fluctuation, over time it's going up. And one of my clients shared this with us in the group the other day. She said, like, my magic check didn't get paid, but actually when I looked at it, I've earned more money over the time I've been doing it. And this is someone who felt stuck at a level that they couldn't earn any more money. So they work. I wrote a nice big fat check this month and it didn't get paid. But what happened? I got really resourceful. And I generated income from different places as a result of writing that check. So although I went really big on this check, my subconscious mind was like, are you sure? I still generated more income than I thought I was going to. Okay, so they work. They often highlight a block as well. So I found once I got to 10k months, I felt like I couldn't earn more than that because I was telling myself that story. People like me can't have consistent 10k months. Then when I got consistent 10k months, the story I was telling myself was, there's no way I could have more than 10k. Like, that's the ceiling. I can't because that's the ceiling. And it was not true. Now, when you start leveling up with these magic checks, it gets a bit bumpy. I'm going to be honest, like, this is healing work. I say this all the time to you. This is healing work. This is not simply writing on a piece of paper. There is healing to be done. So what can happen is you get a check getting paid and then another one. And then you start to go up and down and up and down. And it's like an aeroplane getting through the clouds. The clouds are really bumpy. They're like, ah! And sometimes they drop a bit and sometimes they go up a bit. But ultimately, when you get through, it gets a little bit easier. That's you leveling up. Then you'll have a couple of months where your checks get paid beautifully. And then you'll hit another set of clouds again. And sometimes you hit a pocket of air and it drops right down and comes back up. Don't lose sight of the magic. Okay, don't lose sight of the magic. This is a process, okay? And it is a process that makes a difference over a period of time, okay? And some of you will have results straight away, and other of you will have smaller results consistently, okay? But don't let the bumpiness stop you. Don't let the bumpiness make you think this doesn't work, because it does work. And there's loads of people here that will tell you that even when their checks don't get paid, they work. They work in so many different ways. Okay. So first of all, that was the mindset of money, right? They will not work. They will not work if you are not aligned with that money. Okay, if you are asking for too much out of your comfort zone, your mind will likely push it away from you. If you are, if you have a story of I can't because, they won't work because you've already decided that it won't work. Do you see what I mean? So change your story. Be like, I can do this as well as have a job. I can do this as well as have a pension. I can do this as well as have benefits. Okay. Sarah says, Isabella says, can a manifestation take a long while? Yeah, a manifestation can take your entire life. It can take several lifetimes. But with these checks, what you're doing is pulling money towards you every month. Okay, so this is a monthly manifestation. This is a monthly manifestation. Okay, so let's have a look. Sarah says, do you count money that you knew was already coming? Yeah. So this is, I'll talk you through the process in a second, Sarah. This is a process where you add up everything that you're expecting and then add a bit to it to expand what you're expecting. Does that make sense? So yeah, we're not going to, you can manifest separately, but the method I teach is you stick it all together and then you add a bit. And then that way you can see it growing nicely. Okay. Isabella, what does aligned actually mean? Well, it means whatever it means for you, but generally it means that your subconscious mind is aligned with your conscious mind. So we're all here. Who here would like to have more money in their lives? I'm going to guess 100% of you. But who here has money blocks that prevent them from having more money in their lives? I'm guessing 100% of you. Yeah, because if you don't have all the money you want right now, you have some sort of block. Okay, so the alignment comes in that healing space where you're actually like trying to align your subconscious mind with your conscious mind. There was a time where I couldn't even write the number £10,000 a month down. Okay, and now that's like a year away. Like my new normal's so much more because my subconscious and my conscious mind got aligned. Okay, and that takes time and it takes healing. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Sarah says, this month I have had a bigger amount coming in, but I know I won't have that next month. So should I just adjust April's to reflect that? Yeah. So you don't have to have your checks getting bigger and bigger and bigger each month. What I do is I write a check and then I manifest it for a few months. So each month I write the same number. Okay. And then when I'm comfortable at that level, I go again. If I know I'm going to have a short month, I still want to push myself. Okay, like say if I'm going to take a month off, I know that's going to be really challenging. Yeah, so I change the amount, I write a lower amount and then add a bit to that. So I'm still manifesting more than the baseline. Okay, but that will depend. Like when you have a salary, it's easy to know what you're going to get coming in, except when on the months where you have a bonus, right? If you get bonuses. But with a business, you don't know from one month to the next what's coming in generally, do you? You might have a bit of an idea, but it will adjust. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Yeah, Lynn and Sammy are like, yes, Gianna, yes. Yeah. So we all want more money and we all have money blocks. Even me. Even me. Sarah says, oh, that's fab. Thank you for the advice. Brilliant. Good. Okay. So when you are thinking about the figure, we've actually just started down that point. What I'd love for you to do is to note down all of the income that you've got coming in. Okay, and I don't mean just your salary or just your pension or just your benefits or just your business income. Look everywhere. Where is money coming in? Is there, one thing I always forget about is pre-COVID, I invested some money and I can't get that money out, but it pays me interest. So I always forget to go and get the interest. I can't reinvest it now because they changed the rules. So I forget that can come in, and that's about 50 or 60 quid a month. It depends on the returns of that month. So I always forget to add that on. I also forget to add the fact that I have a pension. I've been a pensioner since I was 25. I've been a pensioner. And so I've had to accept that. Where's my little badge gone? I am a military veteran. I'm getting used to saying that, even though it's been my identity for a very long time. And I was no longer able to work due to illness, and they decided it was due to the service. So I got a pension, and I still get a pension. So I always forget to put that in. My son pays me rent, and so I forget to put that in. So you have to make sure that you put all of the money in, okay? And then you add everything up that you've got coming in that you know of, and make sure you're looking everywhere. Make sure you're not forgetting anything. And then you write that number down, okay? Then what you do is you add a bit to it. Now, this takes practice, okay? It's about being in tune with your higher self, and that can take practice. Oftentimes what we find is our ego kicks in. So the ego will kick in and give you an answer fast. So I often say, what number should I make this check out for? And if the number comes fast, I'm pretty certain that's my ego, because I haven't taken the time to connect with myself. So I just sit in the moment, just take a few deep breaths, and I ask my higher self, what number should I put? Okay. Now, not everyone finds it easy to connect with their higher self. And there are days, weeks, months, sometimes when I don't feel like I can connect with my higher self. So what I do on those weeks is I add 10% to the number of everything that's coming in. I add 10%, and then I just sit with it and I think, is that enough? Is it too much? And just see how it feels in my body. If it makes me feel sick, it's probably too much. If it makes me feel like, yeah, that's easy, it's not enough. If it sits in my heart nicely, if I kind of feel like, yeah, you know what, I've got a good feeling in my heart there, I'm going to go with that number. So that's how you come up with the number. But I want you to see through the number, okay? Now, you might, let's just say, for example, you've got £2,000 coming in, and you think, okay, 2,200 feels good. But I don't want you to think about the number now. Just for a moment, I want you to think about, what is that extra £200 going to mean for you? What's it going to mean for you? How's it going to feel to have that extra £200? And feel into it. So maybe, I can pay 200 extra pounds off my credit card. That will be freeing. Or I can buy some new clothes for me because I haven't done that for ages. Or I could put some in my savings, or I could have a spa day. Okay, I don't want you to underestimate the power of adding 10% to your income. Okay, 10%, if we use those numbers, that you earn or you make £2,000, £200 on top of that is £200 that you haven't had. Hi, Jill. So that's a lot of money. Okay, that is a lot of money. So I want you to really feel into what that money can be. Now, I always think that actually those can be the life-changing sums of money. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, bigger sums can. But if you can manifest £200 extra each month, the next month you can manifest 250, 300, and before you know it, you're writing bigger checks than you ever believed possible, just like I was. Yeah? Okay. So let's have a look at the comments. Sarah says, I've covered that one. Faith, should my check include my salary plus what we'd like on top of that? So Faith, it should include your salary and any other income, no matter where it comes from, and then feel into it or add 10%, whichever is easier for you. Okay, so add, and then sit with that number. Is 10% too much of a stretch, or is it not enough? Okay, only you can feel that. I call this money tension. There's a sweet spot, and it's like where it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's within the realms of possibility, but not probability. It's like, that'd be interesting. If I did that, that would be really cool. That sort of space. So yeah. Faith, what if you have a huge goal? Okay, a big number that you need to complete something you've wanted for a long time. First of all, Faith, I never recommend manifesting with need, because if you try to manifest from a point of need, you're going to manifest more need. Okay, so this technique is about building your income steadily over several months. Okay, there is another technique, Faith. You are in the academy, so there is, if you go to day 5 of the magical manifestation check experience, there are some other techniques there, but I'm not a specialist in those. I teach steady increases. Yeah. So yeah, good. Yeah, so you recognize that already. That's fantastic. So I do manifest big chunks of money, but I'm not an expert at it, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. Okay, good question, Sarah. How do I let go of the how? I haven't got onto that yet, but that's a great question. Okay, so first of all, we've got the figure, we've got the feeling. Wow, what could you do with that extra money? What would that feel like for you? Then we move on to writing the checks, okay? So writing the checks is easy. First of all, look how wonderful they come out of the booklet. Love that. Love it. I want you to get yourself in a wonderful space. This is an important part of money work, okay? Now, you don't have to do this. This is what I do. This is my own little ritual. What I do is I get wild orange oil. And if you want wild orange oil and you're in the UK, let me know and I can send you some. I'm unable to send it abroad, so sorry about that, lovelies. So I put 1 drop of orange oil on my hands. Orange is the oil of abundance. So if you've ever been to Portugal or Spain, it's just in the spring, they are just everywhere. They are literally, the trees look like they're going to break. There's so many of them. And it smells amazing. So it reminds me of money, this. Oh. And I always write with a beautiful pen. So I've got this lovely purple Parker pen. And also I keep a little piece of citrine near me as well. Citrine, again, it's just so powerful and so lovely. And it matches the oil really well. You don't have to do that, but just make sure that you have some sort of space where you can write this. This is important. This is not something that you should be doing whilst you're cooking dinner or whilst you're on the bus, or, you know, focus all of your attention onto this. We're setting an intention with the universe, okay? So the first thing you do is I write checks monthly, okay? That's the method that I teach. So the last day of the month is going to be the 30th of April, so I'm going to write that down. 30th of April, 2023. Just like that, yeah? So that's the last day of the month. We're writing it. I know it's not the first day of the month today, but it's close enough. And then where it says payee, I want you to write your name. So I'm going to write Eloise Burton. Okay, easy, right? Then what you do is where it says pay to the sum of, write down the amount that you want to write down. Now, it doesn't matter whether your sum of money is bigger or smaller than mine or anyone else's. You write down your number. Remember, you felt into it, okay? Manifesting from a place of desire. So I'm just going to write, just as an example, £10,000. But it can be any amount. So I've written that down. And then I'm going to write £10,000 in the number box as well. So we've got it in words and we've got it in numbers. Now this for me is spell casting. We're literally spelling what we want out. Yeah? Do you see what I'm doing? I'm spelling out. I'm sending this spell into the universe saying that I want £10,000. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter if yours is bigger or smaller. This works. The first check I wrote was for, I think it was £3,000. It doesn't matter what your number is, even if it's just £100. If that's more than what you're used to getting, then that's perfect. Okay. Now, here's a little supercharging secret. Okay. The law of attraction states that what you ask for, it's given. So it's really important that you open up your manifestation. And what I mean by that is invite more, okay? I didn't do this for the first 10 months of my check writing. I was just writing £10,000 or whatever the number was and leaving it. But I want you to write in the words section or more, okay? And then in the numbers section, write a plus sign like this. See, sorry, it's on mirror, isn't it? But I've written or more here and I've written a plus sign here. And what that does is if the universe has got £9,999 for me, it's going to think, oh, she didn't ask for that. So, but if it has got, if it's got £10,001 for me, it's going to say she didn't ask for that. But if you add or more, it's going to allow that to come to you. Now, the first time I wrote this, it was on a check for £10,000 and it got paid nearly double. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was just insane. So I always recommend opening up your manifestation so that it's 10, you know, if it's 2,000 or 200 or more, so that you can attract more. And you'll see there was a post today by someone who wrote about their magic check and got over £750 more than they'd asked for. Whoop whoop. Okay, so that is your check almost finished. And then where it says desire for manifestation, and it would be something like, you know, whatever your feeling was, how will it feel to be able to go out for dinner? So it'd be like, I feel wonderful for being able to treat my family. I feel wonderful for reducing my debt. I feel wonderful for being able to, I don't know, have my nails done. Do you know what I mean? So pop that in there. And I'll just check the comments. Oh, Sarah, I haven't forgotten you. I'm coming back to you, my lovely. Okay. Isabella wants some oil. Drop me a message on my profile, Isabella, and I'll get some sent out to you. Let's have a look. Facebook user doesn't say. I've been putting the first. Let's have a look. I've been putting the first of the month on the check. Is this wrong? No. Nope. So long as you are letting it run for a month, that's fine. Okay. Number one rule with these checks is don't overthink them. Don't overthink them. Don't worry. Just because I write, I mean, for me, the end of the month is the 30th of April, but for you, it could be the 1st of the month, and that's fine. Like some people say that Sundays are the start of the week. I think most weeks, I think Mondays are the start of the week. Other times, I could be swayed to think Sundays are. So don't worry about that. It's absolutely fine. Okay. Isabella said, does you getting money include people lending you money? Yeah. Or giving you money because you haven't got a lot? Yeah. Yeah, that's money coming in. All money counts. Don't ignore money. All money counts. A lot of the concepts with these checks boil down to the money magic foundations. All money counts. So if you ask for £200 and you're lent £200 or given £200 or you win £200 or you find £200, like that's money that counts, right? You count money. All money counts, unless it's illegal, right? We don't count illegal money. We give that back. We don't accept it. But all money counts. Yeah? Okay. So Faith yeah, exactly. You've thought through that. So what would be the positive? Faith says, oh, things like fixing my roof would reduce my stress. So what would the positive spin on that be, Faith? What's the desire? The desire is not to reduce your stress. That's a want. What's the desire? The desire might be to feel safe and secure in my home, to feel warm in my home. Do you know what I mean? It'd be a positive one. So try and put a positive slant on that, lovely. But I get where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from. You're feeling through the money into the thing and into what it's going to take away from you, but what's it going to give you? What's it going to give you? So it's going to take away the stress, but what's that going to give you? Is it going to be peace? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So hopefully that helps, my lovely. Okay, so next thing, we've done figures and feelings, writing the check. Okay, so number 4 is cooking the check, and I'm going to go back to, I think it was Sarah's question about getting out of the how. Okay, actually, before I do, I've just seen Jagita has written a comment, which is a really good question. So let me just show that. Do I write only my income or my partner's too? This is a personal decision. So I do include my partner's income, okay? I do include it, and there's reasons for that, in that my business brings in a significant amount of money, but our money goes into the same bank account. Does that make sense? So for me, it's easier if I count Mark's money as well. So I count it. But if you don't count it, that's fine. But if they bring money in, you can't count your extra money, and you can't count that either. So like for me, if Mark brings in manifests a chunk of money, then I can't count that. But because we both benefit from it and our finances are intertwined anyway, then I use that. Yeah. So up to you. You could try either. I find it less complicated because we've got everything's joint, our mortgage, our savings, our bank accounts. Because it's all joint, it's easier to just count it as household. Yeah. Okay. Faith, good. Yes, Faith, well done. I get it. Attract the positive, don't know the negative. Exactly that, my lovely. Okay. I get £7.50 per week in free coffee pods and forgot to include this in my totals. Exactly. Like, money doesn't always look like notes, coins, and numbers in your bank. Sometimes it looks like free coffee. I love that, because you're going to buy it anyway, aren't you? So, like, you saved yourself £7.50. Love that. Faye says you include his income but list your name since you're doing the manifesting. No, I just write my name because it's coming to both of us. You know, it's coming to both of us. Don't overthink it. This is the thing, like, don't overthink it. Just choose one, together or not together, manifest it. There's no overthinking to be done, okay? It just gets it. I find it easier, but if your bank accounts are separate, you're not going to find that easier. So hopefully, Jagita, that answers your question. But I have all of my finances intertwined, so that makes it easier for me. Okay, so cooking. Now, what I do is I am not a coach that will tell you, hi, Karen. I am not a coach that will tell you to recite millions of affirmations every single day, because what happens when you say, I'm manifesting £10,000 every month, when you've said that for about 100 times, instead of being like, I'm manifesting £10,000 or £1,000, whatever it is, you will start going, I'm manifesting £1,000, I'm manifesting £1,000, manifesting £1,000, and your energy's gone. The vibe has gone. The vibe is gone. Okay, so I don't get you to do that. My way of manifesting is easy, but it isn't as easy as sitting back and waiting for it to happen. So just going to explain to you what I do. Now, some of you may have heard of vision boards. I don't do vision boards. I don't teach vision boards. But the way we're going to work with this check is a bit like a vision board. So what I do is I have a little easel, and that easel sits on my desk, and I pop my check on the easel. Now, the check's here. I'm looking here. This is where my screen is. So I'm not looking directly at that check, but it's in my eye line. So subconsciously, it's going into my head. It's warming up, it's cooking, so that my subconscious mind gets in line with my conscious mind. It gets used to seeing that number, gets exposed to that number for hours and hours, yeah, until it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do 2,200 or 10,000 or, you know, whatever your number is. Where you thought you didn't have any belief, now your subconscious mind is starting to believe, and that's when the magic happens. Now, what you have to do is get out of the how, which is what Sarah asked the question about. Now, what does that mean? Let me just find it for us so we can pop it on. Oh, they've all jumped around. Just bear with me. There we go. Let's pop that on the screen. So, people often say to me, what do you mean by getting out of the how? What it means is you don't sit there looking at your check, or even before you've set the number, okay, you don't sit there thinking, yeah, but how? Yeah, but how? How am I going to manifest that extra £200 or that extra £2,000, whatever your number is? How? We're often taught that we have to set a goal and then reverse engineer it with action steps. When we are manifesting, that approach actually stifles the way that we manifest. So, for example, let's say you have a job and you want to manifest an extra £200 per month, for example. So how gets you back to, I'm going to talk to my boss and I'm going to ask them for a pay rise. Yeah? So you've done the how, you've decided that you're going to ask your boss for the pay rise, but they say no, they can't afford it, they don't have the budget. Well, now that's not going to happen, is it? Because that was your how. When you let go of the how, what you're doing is you're surrendering the plan, but opening up to taking opportunities. So that £200 might come from, instead of a pay rise, just here's some ideas: selling stuff on eBay every month, investments that you didn't know you could do. It could come from something that you thought no one would value your time for, but actually someone said, I'm going to pay you 200 quid for that. That's very common. Perhaps your mum or your dad or your brother or your sister just writes you a cheque for £200 for no reason because they love you. Perhaps you pick up a library book and you find £50 and that's like a quarter of the extra money. Yeah, because some people do that. Some people leave cash in library books. I love that. Okay. It might be that you get a tax rebate. It could be that you get here's something that happens quite a lot in my world, a refund on insurance that you were meant to get years ago, but they didn't pay it out for some silly reason. And then you get a check in the post and you're like, what's this for? This doesn't feel real. Like, honestly, the possibilities are endless when you let go of the how, okay? What that doesn't mean is that you get to just lay back and do nothing. Just saying, right? What you need to do is see those opportunities. And you won't see those opportunities if you've got a story that is, I can't because. Yeah. So that's why getting that story straight at the start is really, really powerful. Does that make sense? Letting go of the how is actually quite scary. And you will fall in and out of the how. Okay. If I catch myself looking at my check, okay, right, so that means if I divide that number by that number of clients, or that number by that price, I need that many clients. That's getting in the how. Right? Then I'm like, how? We don't need to do that. But when someone drops me an email and says, would you like to come and speak in this like expo thing, or would you like to come and do some training for the salespeople, things like that, right? That's how you get out of the how. Like, you just open up to the opportunities. How? You know what? I'm just going to post my stuff on social media every day. Maybe no one will see it. It's an action that you're taking. Do you see what I mean? But you don't know how it's going to come to you. But you look for the opportunities. And I promise you, lovelies, I know many of you hide from social media. Social media is the biggest opportunity that any of us have right now to make money. I promise you. Okay? And it takes time and it takes a little bit of learning, but if you start now, you'll very soon be way ahead of everyone else. Okay? So unhook from the how. Notice when you're in the how, when you're writing out goals, you're in the how. Okay? And all you have to say to yourself is, I'm surrendering this to the universe or to money. I'm surrendering it. Okay? I'm surrendering it. And that's how you get out of the how. And you have to keep saying it. Sometimes you have to say it every 2 minutes to yourself. Other times it's every 2 days. Okay? Violetta says, if I want to win a specific thing like a house, can I use the check? Possibly. I don't know. I don't recommend. I'm not an expert on manifesting houses with checks. I have manifested this house and I'm very proud of that, but I didn't use a check. That's probably a different training, to be honest, my lovely. That's a very big chunk. So winning is tough. So manifesting the money for a house is easier than manifesting a win for a house, because you won't be the only person manifesting a win for a house. Yeah. And so if you've ever watched the film, I think it's called Bruce Almighty, and I think it's Bruce Almighty, and he's at the keyboard and he's granting everyone their wishes, their prayers, and they all win the lottery, but they all only win like 50p or something like that. And that's because, like, if you're trying to manifest a win, there's so many moving parts that if everyone is manifesting equally, no one wins. Okay? And so wins, although they can be manifested, I tend to stay away from them. You have a lot more control around manifesting money. And if you can sort your money connection out and the way you talk about money and the way you feel about money, it comes faster. It comes much faster. And that's how I manifested the money for this house. I sorted this out, and that I don't think I could have, I don't think if I'd worked on manifesting a win, I feel like I might not have manifested the money. Does that make sense? Money is, I promise you, money is the easiest thing that we can manifest, because it's all around us. It's within our control. Even if you think it isn't, it absolutely is. There's always a way to manifest money. Okay, and I know this because I've been on the bones of my arse, like had my house repossessed, and somehow I still managed to feed my son. You know, we find a way. Yeah. And then we convince ourselves that money is not everywhere, but it really is. Even I'm not very good at remembering that money is everywhere all the time. Okay, I have to go through the money magic foundations over and over again. That's why they're the foundations. We never stop needing to do the foundations. Okay, because if you aren't doing the foundations, writing the check and manifesting your check amount is going to feel harder, because you're going to start worrying. You're going to start getting in the how. The money magic foundations give you that something to do other than the how. And they help you align your conscious and your subconscious mind. So hopefully that helps, my lovely. I'm pretty sure you could manifest a house with a check. Whether or not you can manifest a win, I'm not sure about that. And I'm not saying it can't be done, just because I've never done it. So I wouldn't want to say you could or you couldn't. Okay? Good, makes sense. Fantastic, Jagita. Jill said, I started using TikTok and I've got some followers this week. Yay! That's action, isn't it? It's action. And Jill, you've been taking action all over Facebook as well. Okay, Lynn says, so I could manifest the money to buy my holiday home. You could, yeah. It might happen fast, but what you can do, it can happen fast, it can happen slow. But what I would do, because this is a monthly process, work out how much you need to save each month to get to that point, and make sure that it's the right amount for you. Remember that feeling? But you absolutely could manifest the money to buy your holiday home. Yeah, like I manifested the money for this. We were like, when I manifested this house, we had nothing. We had decent salaries, but we had no money at the end of the month. Like, the month was too long. The money didn't stretch that far. You know, it was like touch and go. And I'm just like, whew, I got my expenses paid. Whew, that was lucky, you know? Yeah, so tomorrow is check day. Nice. Fantastic, Jill. Now let me just pop that off the screen there. Lovely. Now remember, this is a process and it's a practice. It takes practice. So I'm going to tell you what to do. You just leave it cooking away in the background, somewhere you can see it. So it might be on your fridge. It might be in your book, in your planner that you use as a bookmark, something like that. I nearly showed you the book then. I had to stop myself. Keeping that under wraps. Yeah, so you might use it as a bookmark or something like that. Or you might put it in your purse, something that you use every single day, a few times a day. Yeah, so keep it there. Keep it in your eye line, but not something you directly look at. Yeah, take aligned action. Take the action that is going to create the difference. Don't just sit there thinking, I can't because. Think, what can I do as well? You know, what can I do as well? What could I do? What could I do? And ask the universe that. The universe will answer a question. If you say, I can't because, there's no question there. Ask the universe, how else can I create? How else can I manifest this money? Okay. Magic, real manifesting magic is real. Okay. And that means you have to take action. Okay. You don't have to know what that action is, but you have to take action when you see it. I hope that makes sense. I know we see in the films, don't we? I've got a little bit of Paolo Santo here. Someone waves a magic wand, and bippity boppity boo, and it's there. But this magic is real magic. It's not cartoon magic. It's about sending an intention, a beautifully feeling intention, out into the universe, allowing it to happen in the background, trusting that it happens, unhooking from the how, but taking the opportunities, to seeing the how as it presents itself to you rather than trying to plan it. So unhooking from the how is about letting go of your control over the situation. Okay, and that's terrifying, right? But you will get better at it. Let's have a look. Faye says this is exactly where I am. No money at the end of the month. Yeah. So you might, an extra 10% for you might be the difference between that and having enough to get to the end of the month, or more than enough to get to the end of the month. Sarah says, I can't wait to read your book. What date does it launch? This is back. I'm not going to show it to you. I haven't got the specific launch date yet. It's going to go live on Amazon. And I'm really excited about that. At the moment, it's quite slow on Amazon. So what used to happen is we'd publish a book or a planner and it would go live within 72 hours and then it could be bought as soon as it went live. But at the moment, there's a little bit of a slowdown. So, yeah, I don't know yet, but it's going to be in the next 2 weeks. And then I have a live launch party on the 22nd of April here in Southampton. Well, not here in Southampton, I'm not in Southampton, but in Southampton. And if you'd like to come, just let me know and I'll send you the details. Super exciting. So Faith says, what do you mean take action? I mean, if the universe presents you with an opportunity, take it. Like, follow that path. Don't just you have to take action to make it work. Does that make sense? So if you get a message from someone that says, hey, would you like to come and talk in my group about what you do? That could be an opportunity for you. If someone says, oh, I heard someone told me that you do this. Is this something you'd be interested in? That you take the action. The actions often aren't clear until they're in front of you. But the amount of times that I know I have, like, the universe tried to steer me down that path and I didn't take it. Does that make sense? So it's about walking the path that the universe presents for you. Cool. Okay. So that's it cooking away in the background. So what do you do on the last day of the month? Well, here we go. How do we know if your check's been paid? Don't do it on the last day of the month because that's still a day to go, right? So I check my check on the first day of the following month just before I write the next check. Now remember to look everywhere. Look for money. Money Magic Foundation number 1. Look for money. And make sure, number 2, that you're paying attention to money. Just because it wasn't money that you felt you wanted because someone gave you £200 doesn't mean you get to ignore it. You can't pick and choose. You want money or you don't want money. Okay? All money counts, except the illegal money. We don't get involved in that because that's got bad vibes, right? So you count up all the money. Yeah? Isabella, I've just gone through that, lovely. You just pop it somewhere where you can see it without directly looking at it. You might have missed that bit, my lovely. So you just leave it there for a month. Mine is on a little easel. But you can stick it on your fridge or you can use it in your planner, like as a bookmark or something like that. Somewhere where you're going to see it every day, but you're not necessarily going to spend time staring at it. Okay? So where did I get to? Yes, so first day of the month, or if you're writing your check on the first, you might want to, if you're writing it on the first, you probably want to wait until the second. To have a look. Look everywhere. Look in. That's all right, my lovely. I thought you might have missed it. It's fine. So look everywhere. If that means looking in your purse, even though you know there's no money in there, go and look in your purse. Go and look in your bank account. Oh, excuse me. Go and look in your bank accounts. Go and look. Go on a treasure hunt and look for this money. Don't just look in your main bank account. Look in the pots. Look in the savings. Look in any other accounts that you've got. Check your lottery account if you've got one. Have you got gift cards you haven't used? Do people owe you money that you haven't chased up? Do a check, okay? Has someone lent you money? Did someone give you money? It all counts, right? It all counts. We don't discriminate here around money. It counts, yeah? So add it all up and just see how far you've got on. Now, if you think your check hasn't been paid, look again, like look everywhere again. Where is there money that you haven't seen it? Okay. And if it definitely hasn't been paid, just like this check didn't get paid this month, that's okay. Then I invite you to think about, what did I do that could have hindered this check? Now, it's not that you did anything wrong, it's that this is a process. And I've been doing this process for 4 years. And I got it wrong this month, and I'm going to learn. And next month it's going to work. Or maybe it won't, but I will still learn. Do you see what I mean? I will get back to the point where my check's getting paid. So I know this one, the amount I wrote on this one, I didn't believe it. I got, my ego was like, yeah, write a check for that amount. Let's see what happens. And then I was like, I was not aligned. My subconscious and my conscious mind was not aligned. So I know that I missed out that step about feeling into the figure. It was too much. And I do remember when I wrote this check, actually, I did what I told you not to do. And that was, I just wrote it on the hop. Yeah? I just wrote it on the hop. So I'm going to write on here what I've learned. Create a beautiful space. Feel like I'm like telling myself off here. Create a beautiful space for this check writing, and feel into the number. And I'm going to also sit in gratitude for this check that didn't get paid. I'm thankful that I can see this. I can see what I need to do to get back on this. Okay? And then what I do with checks that don't get paid is I rip them up, and I have a cauldron, a little mini cauldron, and I just burn them. So don't do this unless you have somewhere safe to do it. Okay. Another thing you can do is shred it or rip it up. But what I say is get it out of your house. So this will burn. And then later I'll take this outside. I'll take the cauldron outside, and I will throw the ashes around to get it out of my energy. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. It's burning nicely. I love that. I love that. And I'm excited to go again with this new reminder of the knowledge that I already knew, but I needed to hear it again. Okay. Now, what do you do when your check gets paid? You do a happy dance as a bare minimum. You do a happy dance. Okay. And then you write all over the back of it, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, whatever you want to do. Now, what I do is I keep my checks that have been paid. I keep them for the times that I think, oh, that check didn't get paid. And I get them out, and I've got a growing stack of checks that got paid, right? It's amazing. It's a good reminder that I know this, right? And I know what to do. And that means that, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I write the wrong numbers. I don't pay enough attention. But this growing stack of checks that got paid remind me that my manifestations work. And that I've gone from where I was 4 years ago to where I am now. Okay? So let's just have a quick check here on the comments. Okay, so Catherine says, when I look back, manifested dollars and it feels good, but next moment I'm feeling doubt again because a bill comes in. How do you know it's intuition, not worry at the moment? I realise the difference afterwards. So sometimes when a bill comes in, that can be what that can be a sign of, Catherine, is you can manifest money, but you can't hold it. Okay, so often a big bill can come in that takes the money that's just come in. That's a block that needs to be healed. The checks can help you manifest money, and they can help you identify blocks. So if you manifest money and then a bill lands on your mat, you've got a problem with being able to hold on to money, a receiving or a holding issue that needs healing. And that's the sort of stuff we do in the circle, Catherine, and the academy. Help you receive more money and hold more of it. Okay, and that takes time as well. That's an expansion activity. Lita, no worries, my lovely. Nice to have you here. Lita says, I definitely don't have any money anywhere other than my bank account. Lita, I'm going to say that you've made it, you've sent that intention out to the universe. You've made that statement that I definitely don't have any money anywhere. There will be money. There is money. What you have to work on is your belief and the story that you tell yourself. So you could go out for a walk potentially, and over time you will start, if you start believing, you will start seeing. It's not the other way around. You have to believe to see. So hopefully that helps, my lovely. Just be very careful of your language there. If it's like we were saying, I can't because I'm retired. I can't because I only have a job. I can't because I'm on benefits. It's really important that you change your language around money. So you could say, I'm working on finding money outside of my bank account. That would be a great way to change that phrase. Isabella, did we count the money which someone will pay for us, but you still don't have it right now? No, this is money that comes in. Okay, so it's not what you've invoiced or what you've done. It's about money that comes in. Lita, you are watching live, but this will be on Facebook for a while, so you can watch this back, my lovely. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Sarah's just said exactly the same thing. Okay, so as you saw, my check didn't get paid this month, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up, because I have a stack and I can't get into it because my altar's in the way. And now I must move that. I've got a stack of, there's got to be, let me just think. There's a stack of at least 30 checks that have been paid, okay? 30 checks that have got me to the point of writing big checks consistently. And just because that check didn't get paid, it doesn't mean that I failed. It doesn't mean that I didn't earn anything this month. I just earned slightly less. But that's okay, right? This is about goal setting and motivating yourself to move towards bigger numbers. And if writing a check helps you do that, then that's what you need to do. But what you mustn't do is give up. You mustn't quit. You must keep going with this, because it is a process and it is a practice. Practical magic takes practice, and we have to remember that. And as I said, like this check, I wrote in a rush and I didn't feel into the number. I broke my own rules. And I put my hand up, and guess what? I didn't get paid. So, any questions, my lovelies? You're so right, Sarah. I do need to move my altar so I can get it ready for April. I'm going to do it, but I've got, I reorganised Fearlessly Feminine HQ because I got a pole installed, because I like doing like pole strength and conditioning. So everything's a little bit scooched up at the moment, but I think I can move it back a bit and it wouldn't hurt. So yeah, it's like I can't open my drawer fully, actually. Oh no, that's not it. I'm gonna get in there. But I've got loads and loads. So, you know, don't give up. This stuff works, I promise you. There are people like me, like you, using these checks, getting them paid. And even when they don't get paid, you will see over time, you have to be patient sometimes. You will see over time your income increasing. Just like, I think it was Melanie said in the group this week, hers didn't get paid, but she can already see that her average income's going up. Like, that's amazing, right? That's not a failure. That is not a failure. Okay. So I'm just going to recap. The first rule is mindset, okay? You need to make sure that you're manifesting from a healthy place. I can't because. Identify all your I can't because, okay? What are the stories? I can't manifest money because X. I can't see money outside of my bank account. Like, what else can you say? What else can you say? Remember, this is a practice, okay? We've got to practice it. This method is not for you if you're trying to manifest huge chunks of money over what you already have. You can do that over time with this method, but this method is step by step. So if you are only getting £200 or £1,000 a month, let's say £1,000 a month, trying to manifest 2 is too big of a jump. You need to build it up. So like go up at 10% or feel into it. Okay, the feeling into it is where the practice is. And if you ignore it, you'll end up like me and you don't get your payment. Okay, feel into the figure and the feeling, turn it into a positive. What is it going to give to you rather than take away? The takeaways are really often the easiest things. Oh, I could pay off my credit card so I don't feel so stressed. Like Faith said, I could get my roof fixed so I don't feel so stressed. That's taking something away, which is great because we want that to go away, but switch it into a positive. Write the check. Remember to add the or more. Okay, cook the check in the background. Don't stare at it. Okay, just you can look at it. Like, you're not banned from looking at it, but don't feel you have to look at it and will it into place. Like, it's there, it's going to work. So long as you're looking at it, or you're not looking at it, but you can see it, right? Unhook from the how, like Sarah asked, just surrender it to the universe. And you might have to do that every 20 seconds, every 2 minutes, but you will get better at it. But take action, okay? You can't just say, I want £2,000 and do nothing, okay? You have to do stuff. And if it gets paid, happy dance as a minimum and come and share it in the group. Woohoo! We love that. We love the magic checks. We love them. And if they don't get paid, what did you learn? What is that showing you? Is it showing you that you went too big, or you went too small, or you didn't connect with it? Were you trying to manifest something that isn't about this method, which is monthly increases? Okay. If you are trying to manifest chunks of money, I recommend reading Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic. It's a gratitude challenge, a 30-day gratitude challenge. I have to say, I have had success with manifesting chunks of money, but the thing that made it successful was all the healing I'd done on myself with this money work. I can now manifest big chunks of money, okay? But I couldn't when I started because I hadn't healed that. I hadn't got that alignment, hadn't got my subconscious mind in line with my conscious mind. And so anytime that you have that, it's not going to work. So yeah, let's have a look at the comments. Oh, Faith, your Facebook shut down. You'll be able to get this on catch up, lovely. I cannot remember what I said 10 seconds ago. Okay. So let's have a look. Yes, Sarah's making room for the money to come in. Yay! Okay, so Lita says, I want to go to the Caribbean in July to see my family, and I feel like I won't make up the money to go. Plus, I need to replace broken appliances and furniture. It's like I don't know where to focus. So what you need to do, Lita, is this method is about increasing your income bit by bit every month, okay? And you need to open up to the fact that money can come from different places and be really open to that. I always think about that. This beautiful incense holder is a lotus flower, and we've got a card, haven't we, with the lotus flower on. It's opening up to all the different ways that money can come in, okay? Don't see the check as an income source, okay? The check is not an income source. The check is an intention that you're sending out into the world, and you need to be taking the action, okay? So hopefully that helps, my lovely. So I find it easier. So you've got a lot going on there, Lita. You've got a lot going on. So I wouldn't know where to start. But what I would say is think about your monthly income. Think about increasing it slightly, and then increasing it slightly more, and then increasing it slightly more as you get into using these checks, okay? You absolutely could try to manifest the money for the Caribbean, but that's not the method that we teach here, okay? So I don't know how much that will be for you, and I don't know how much that would be off what your current income is. So it might be that that's not actually a stretch, or it might be. So it's about doing it step by step so you don't freak your minds out. Okay. Oh, bless you, Faith. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions, my lovelies? Any other questions? I love these checks, even though I've just had to burn one. And like I say, you don't have to burn them, but I do recommend getting them out of your house so that you don't look at it and go, oh, it didn't get paid. It didn't get paid. It's paying you in a different way. Like this one is paying me by showing me that I didn't pay attention. I didn't give money the attention she deserves. I didn't. I literally wrote this on the hop. And I didn't think about the number. I just literally went, wrote that down. So that taught me that. So that will be going outside. It's all burnt. It will be in there. Oh no, it looks like a bit of a unicorn in there. That's quite cool. Yeah, so I'm just going to give you a little tease. The front is even prettier. I can't wait to show you. Once it's live on Amazon and on my website, I will show you the front, but I'm just being a bit of a tease at the moment. I've got another copy here somewhere. So excited, isn't it? Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. I hope it's useful. Thank you for answering all my questions in the live today. It's been really helpful. Glad. And Karen says, I've learned a lot about these checks today. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, my lovely. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for joining. So I hope that was helpful for you. I love doing this check training. I think I'm going to do it every couple of months or so. You're very welcome, Jagita. Do remember, my lovelies, if you're in the circle or the academy, we have a deep dive look at these checks. It's in the bonus section and it's the magical manifestation check experience. Hi, John. So if you would like to get your hands on that amazing bonus, which is just the bonus, right? Then again, message me on my profile and let me know if you'd like in. The circle is currently open. The academy is not, but the circle is exceptionally wonderful at helping you heal your different money blocks and moving you forward. And you have that amazing deep dive experience of the checks. Also, if you want the checks, if you haven't got your hands on the checkbook yet, head to my website, www.fearlesslyfeminine.me/check, CHEQUE. We spell it really weird here. Okay. And Julie says, thank you so much for sharing about the checks. Very helpful. Glad you liked it, my lovely. And Jogita, yeah, so you will be able to find that in the academy, my lovely. Fantastic. Right. Have a wonderful weekend. It's been a weird week here, actually, because Mark had 2 days off this week, Thursday and Friday. He had eye surgery and he's fine. Like, he was having his eyes corrected. But it's, it's weird. Like, so it felt like Saturday and Sunday yesterday and today. So, hi, Lucianne. Thanks for joining, lovely. We're just finishing. That was great timing. So yeah, so now we've got the weekend ahead of us, which is great. It's wonderful. I quite liked having him around. So yeah, so we've got a couple, mind you, I might not be saying that on Sunday. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend, won't you? And message me on my profile, not on my business page. Message me on my profile if you want the checks, the circle, the oil. I can send you the links for all of that. It's a story of my life. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it went well. He was fine, bless him. And you, my lovely. See you later, everyone.